The chilling case of Katherine Knight, Australia's most disturbing killer. It's a tale that sounds too twisted to be real, a nightmare that unfolded in a quiet Australian town, leaving behind a trail of terror, violence, and unimaginable horror. Katherine Knight, a name now infamous across Australia, became the first woman in the country's history to be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And once you hear what she did, it's not hard to understand why. Knight's crime wasn't just brutal, it was grotesque. In 2000, she murdered her partner, John Price, in a way that shocked even the most seasoned investigators. But what unfolded after the killing turned a horrific murder into something straight out of a horror film. A disturbed past, full of red flags. Katherine Knight had always carried a certain reputation in her town of Aberdeen, New South Wales. Known as a skilled meat worker, she seemed like an ordinary woman on the surface. But underneath that exterior lurked a dangerous temper and a deep-seated darkness rooted in a traumatic childhood. Neighbors described her as quick to anger, and former classmates recalled her as a bully who thrived on intimidation. Knight claimed she had been a victim of sexual abuse by multiple family members growing up, trauma that appeared to follow her into adulthood. Her relationships with men were stormy, violent, and often ended in disaster. Her first marriage turned violent fast. On her wedding night, she tried to strangle her new husband. Later, during another outburst, she cracked his skull with a frying pan. In another relationship, she slaughtered her partner's dog in front of him and stabbed him with scissors. These weren't isolated incidents. They were red flags, warnings that were tragically ignored. A relationship headed for disaster. John Price, a father of 3 and well-liked in the community, began dating Knight despite her volatile reputation. For a while, their relationship seemed stable enough to outsiders. But behind closed doors, things were anything but normal. Knight's violent tendencies soon resurfaced, and Price even took out a restraining order against her after she stabbed him during an argument. Still, like many victims caught in cycles of abuse, Price gave her another chance. But deep down, he must have sensed what she was capable of. Before his death, he reportedly told coworkers that if he didn't show up to work the next day, they should call the police. He never made it to work. A crime scene that shocked the nation. On March 1st, 2000, concerned neighbors spotted blood on Price's front door and called authorities. What police found inside was something no one could have imagined. Knight was discovered unconscious, having taken pills in an apparent suicide attempt. She survived, but what she left behind would haunt investigators forever. Inside the house, John Price's body had been mutilated beyond recognition. His skin had been carefully removed and hung on a meat hook, eerily intact. His decapitated head was found boiling in a pot on the stove, and in a truly disturbing detail, police discovered slices of his flesh baked with vegetables and set on plates at the table, each one labeled with the names of Price's children. It wasn't just murder, it was a calculated act of cruelty. Justice served Knight was arrested and later sentenced to life in prison in 2001. Her appeal in 2006 was denied. The judge presiding over her sentencing described her actions as being driven by utter enjoyment and said Price's final moments must have been filled with unimaginable terror. He had been stabbed 37 times before she began dismembering his body. Katherine Knight remains locked away in Silverwater Women's Correctional Center, with no chance of ever walking free again. Her name has become synonymous with evil, a woman whose rage, trauma, and cruelty exploded into one of the most disturbing crimes in Australian history. Her story is a grim reminder of how warning signs can be overlooked, and how the people we think we know might be hiding the darkest of secrets.
For full video, click related link below or like and subscribe this channel.